alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Dominic Lawton can be wild. Welcome to the Bad Movie Cult.
Hello and welcome back to the Bad Movie Cult podcast. My name is Dominic Lawton, and with me, as always, my co-host, Mr. Ken B. Wild.
Hello, and a happy new year, everyone.
It's weird, isn't it? We're in the future, Ken. The year 2024.
Whoa.
What's it like? Have a little look round.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. There's like flying cars and shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, Cresswell predicted, I believe, after all.
I mean, people will be hearing this in the future, and events such
Yeah,
as these
I
will...
hope we don't watch any better films or worse films from now until we actually release this. That would make us a liar.
That'd really piss me off, to be honest with you, if I watch something amazing in the next...
Well, I've been trying. I've been hitting the Nicolas Cage just in case he's going to sneak himself in somewhere.
Yeah, he's been on every one of your lists since we started this podcast, hasn't he?
I think he was on both lists, wasn't he, last year?
I think so. I think
He
absolutely
was.
he was.
Best and the worst, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was in yours as well, I think.
He was definitely on my worst. He might have been on my best as well, yeah. Let's see if he crops up again this year. So, as always, we'll start with the worst films of 2023. Do you want to go first or second, Ken?
I will always go second because, as you know, I've not written any kind of number next to any of mine.
Fantastic.
You know, you always catch me off guard, don't you, every 12 months?
Yeah. We only had 12 months to sort these lists. Start from number 5, work our way down to number 1 of the worst film of the year that we've seen. If one of us says one that the other has on the list, then they'll say which number it is on their list, and we'll just discuss it at that same time.
And we have to justify it as well, don't we?
Yeah, but it should be fun.
Quantify it.
I had a difficult time with this worst list. I don't know about you. I don't know how you got on with it, but I really struggled with it. There's some on this like worst list that I don't even really think are that bad.
There's some of mine, some of my worst lists that I absolutely loved watching, but the film itself is shit. So you know, I'm kind of in the middle with mine as well.
Yeah, and there's 2 on this list that I watched right the way back in January, so I don't even remember them. So let's see how that gets on. I make a list every year. Keep a list on my phone of all the films I've watched, and I put a little star rating next to them so I can remember if I liked them or not.
But so you remember you didn't like them, but you don't know why you didn't like them.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the kind of in-depth kind of review we're going to be dealing with today to wrap up the year.
Fall over.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You fall off your chair.
I fell off my hover bike because we're in the future.
So I'm going to start, Ken.
Go for it.
My number 5.
Yep.
And it's a film called Sick.
No, that sounds good to start with.
Have you heard of the film Sick?
I don't know.
It was written by the guy who wrote Scream, so Kevin Williamson. So you bet your fucking ballsack there's a reference or 2 in there.
Right.
It's a slasher film.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a film about like a fucking home invasion or something?
It is. While quarantining at her family's lake house during the pandemic, Parker and her best friend are threatened by an unexpected visitor.
Right, okay. I have heard of this then. I haven't seen it, I don't think.
From what I remember of it, I think there's about 3 characters in it, so the kill count isn't very high on it. I remember it being very COVID-centric. I remember the reasoning for the killer to be doing it was absolutely ridiculous. And I remember just not really... I haven't really enjoyed a Kevin Williamson film for a while. I find him too... He almost references himself now, and all of his dialogue's a bit too, like, you know, back and forth quipster.
The quipper.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was way too COVID heavy, even though I'm guessing that's the point, but I didn't enjoy it. You say you hadn't seen it, no?
I've not seen it, no. I do remember hearing of it, and I thought to myself, if it's ever just there, I'll watch it, but I'm not that bothered.
Well, you know what? And I was sitting there last night when I was making my list, and I was like, should I rewatch it now and see what I think. And I was like, I really don't want to. Screw you lot.
Well, that's absolutely fine, isn't it? That's what it's all about, after all.
I think I did all right there, considering I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think you've really covered it well.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
What have you got then, Ken?
Well, I've got loads.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no, Ken. What I want is your number 5.
I think this happened last year. I said I found it really difficult to do my bottom 5, and I've got about 12.
12, yeah, great. I have no also rans for this, by the way.
So in at number 14, I've got. I don't know though. You see, that's my issue with this best and worst, and I know we do this every year, but I've got the same issue with it.
And I know
every
you
year.
say this is the same fucking sentence every year.
It's just the script I wrote for year 1.
This is just a snippet of the recording. I'm just going to put it in from last year.
No, but some of these films are fucking funny, but they're funny because they're shit, and I don't know if that constitutes what we're looking for, or whether I'm saying what I just did not like in any way. So what are the rules? Is it that?
Well, Ken, thanks for asking the rules as we're recording the episode.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
I'm going to go with a couple that you'll have heard of. Okay, I'm doing it that way because I think last year you hadn't heard of any of mine, or certainly not seen them. I'm going for number 5. I have got Heart of Stone.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Bloody Gal Gadot, innit?
Who?
Gal Gadot.
Oh, God. I can see why it's on the worst list already. Carry on.
It was from last year, 2023.
Bloody hell, it's good for you.
Yeah, and it's
Usually you're like, my number 3 is the 1973 film.
That's why I'm doing the ones you've heard of first, so as not to lose the listeners. No, this one, it's I think it was out on Netflix, and it came out in August, and I watched it, and fucking hell, it is funny. It is one of the funniest films. It wasn't my choice. I didn't want to watch it, but it was on, and I was all set to hate the fucking thing. And I was just laughing all the way through. I had a massive smile on my face before the opening credits had started. It was that fucking ridiculous. She's called Stone. And she's an intelligent operative. Just so, she just works just at the back, just hanging around whilst all the agents go in and do all their shit. Until she gets called into action, and that's like in the first 3 minutes, so it doesn't last long, this stay at the back. She gets told not to get out of the van, and instantly gets out of the van because everything goes wrong in the worst fucking planned attack I've ever seen. Everyone's an obvious fucking agent. They're supposed to be like blending in and nobody knows they're there, but they're walking around talking to themselves because they've got fucking earpieces in. And they're just so stand out. It's fucking unbelievable. It's like none of them have tried to blend in at all. And this is like the opening scene. They're on top of a mountain in a top secret party where they're trying to infiltrate a hacker who's selling nuclear weapons or some shit to some elusive, never been seen fucking terrorist. And this is just the opening scene. It's got fuck all to do with the rest of the film. It's brilliant. She's like, it turns out she's like some sort of fucking James Bond, John Wick, Jason Bourne, all fucking rolled into one, and a pretty lady as well. So you wouldn't expect it, you see. But fucking hell, it's funny. She goes down the mountain. They got people guiding her down the mountain, telling her where people are so she can kill them. I don't know how they know where everyone else is. They've got a big laser fucking screen in the middle of the room that they can keep touching stuff and moving things around. You know, like you can do if you're in the shadowy secret operative agency. And she gets down to the bottom of the thing, and then she fucking goes back up the mountain. It's like, what's she doing? But honestly, I loved it. I was laughing all the way. They try and do like a sudden, she's been double crossed by the person you'd least expect. Oh no, it's that one that you thought was definitely a fucking like double crosser. Yeah, they are. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and all the time, nobody knows that she's doing all this. So not even her agency thinks she's any good at this. That's why she was always told to stay in the van. So she's like a secret operative.
Wow.
It's amazing stuff. It really is. And I fucking laughed my head off all the way through it. It's not a funny film, supposedly, but it's got Gal Gadot in it, Jamie Dornan, and it is fucking brilliant. Really, really made me laugh. But in the fact that it's so fucking inept, I loved it. And that's my worst. That's number 5 on my worst list.
Excellent. Plus Gal Gadot just fucking terrible at acting as well.
I didn't care. I was just looking at her. I'm more than happy to look at her for a couple of hours. I mean, she obviously asked me not to, but, whatever. And that's it. Number 5. Enjoyed it. If you do like shit films and they're just fucking nonsense, no idea what the budget is. It's a Netflix film. They've overdone everything, and it's fucking amazing. Really, really bad film, but loved it.
Well, there you go. And where can we see that? Netflix, did you say?
Yeah, it's got everything. Honestly, if you like secret agent films and all of the special effects and all of that fucking nonsense, sliding off a cliff, grabbing a parachute on your way down the cliff, putting it on just as you go off the edge, landing in the fucking war zone. They've got zeppelins fucking exploding. They've got motorbike chases. It's fucking unbelievable. Honestly, it's brilliant. So terrible. I laughed my fucking ass off all the way through it. Fully recommended in a terrible way.
Okay. Well, my number 4 is The Tall Man.
Oh, interesting.
So this is 2012, directed by the same man that did Martyrs, the French Martyrs, Pascal Laugier.
Pascal Laugier.
And I think this is rated so low for me is because I went into it with no idea. It's his first English language film. And I went into it with no idea what it was about, if it was any good or not.
Is it Jessica Biel one, is it?
Jessica Biel, that is correct,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watched it, and it's shit. To put it mildly, it's boring. Wasn't scary. It's about children going missing, and it's something to do with the legend of the tall man who apparently abducts them. There's again similar to Martyrs. There's a twist pretty early on in the film, and once that twist is happened, it's pretty fucking dull, to be honest.
Is the twist that Angus Scrimm's not in it from Phantasm?
That is not the twist, because
he was called the Tall Man, wasn't it?
No, he's not in it. I wish he was. The twist, I mean, it's been out for 10 years, so if you don't know the twist, but spoilers galore, by the way, in this episode. When we get to our favourite films and stuff, I'm sure we'll be spoiling them for you with a plot.
I'm sure we will. Yeah, just like every other week, really.
The twist in this is that it's actually Jessica Biel's character that's been abducting the children.
She's not tall, nor a man.
No, it's her, and she's like a nurse, and I think there's a doctor, and they kidnap sort of white trash, poor children and sell them to people in the big city with big dreams.
That's nice, isn't it? So just running a service, really, then.
Yeah, and it's just fucking shit, Ken. I don't know. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
What did you think to it? Did you like it?
I thought it was all right, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I didn't think it was great, but I didn't think it was terrible.
Yeah, I just thought it was boring. Man, that's the thing. Like, the guy who did Mars makes this.
Yeah.
It's boring. God damn it. God damn it, Pascal Laugier.
Sacre bleu, Pascal.
Yeah, it's not... I wouldn't say it's a horror film, would you?
No, it's kind of just like supernatural elements to it, but they're not. And it's kind of like a slow burner thriller kind of thing, isn't it?
Oh, I remember the policeman in it made me laugh. Just a ridiculous depiction of a detective in it. I can't remember who played him. I think was it a sheriff? I can't remember if it was a sheriff or a detective or both. There might be two actually, and they're both just ridiculous in it. But yeah, there we go. Jessica Biel, Tall Man. Give it a watch. It's on Prime.
Fully recommended.
Yeah, if you really love the Martyrs, you're going to really fucking think this is boring as fuck.
Nice. Recommendation there for everyone.
Okay, now I actually have notes for the other ones I've done, so it should be getting a bit better now.
All right,
What's your
I
number
got it.
4?
I've got no notes on any of mine. I'm freewheeling on my dislike or my amusement value.
Yeah, when did you watch your number 5?
In August, as soon as it came out, pretty much.
No, okay.
It was right there on the new releases on Netflix, and of course that was it. Red rag to a bull.
What's your number 4?
My number 4, it's another Netflix one actually. I think I watched this when it came out, and this one is Shotgun Wedding.
Shotgun Wedding. Never heard of it.
It's Jennifer Lopez.
Holy shit.
It's Jenny from the Block.
Bloody hell.
And I can't remember his fucking name now. The guy that was in it as well.
Jenny from the Flats.
That's him, yeah. I'm going to try and find out what his name is. I've forgotten it. It's a shame, isn't it? I've done that.
Josh Duhamel.
That's him. Yes. Yeah. Your mate from one of the Duhamel families.
My best mate.
Yeah. You like them, don't you?
Yeah. I'm a big
thought
fan
you
of
did.
Josh Duhamel.
Yeah. Well, this is another Netflix film. I think it was out 2022 or it did come out in February. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I watched it when it came out.
Prime.
Oh, was it a Prime?
Yeah,
was
just
it? I
seen the.
watched this on Netflix as well. All right, maybe then.
Just looking at the cover, I've seen the cover of this.
Yeah,
the poster.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's an attempt at comedy, which I think is always dangerous. If I'm going to sit and watch one of those, they have to be either just offensive as hell, or they're not fucking funny at all. And this was the second one. This was just not funny. It's over the top, but shit. Jennifer Lopez obviously gets her ass out in a little tiny hot pants because she has to keep proving that she's still physically attractive to youngsters, which seems to be the main thing of her films these days. We've got to have one scene of her in underwear or something. I've never argued, never complained. I'm not complaining about this one either. It's just unnecessary, but also one of the best things of the film. So it's not funny. This film it's like a terrorism attack in this film, which is hilarious, as you'll all agree. Just interrupting their wedding. They're getting married. They're also arguing. All the family turn up, who are all arguing and a bunch of dicks. It's the classic case, and they've got to team up and defeat terrorism. It's tale as old as time, isn't it? But it's not very funny. I tell you, the best person in this, Lenny Kravitz.
I was going to say, I see it's got Lenny Kravitz in it.
He's the best thing in the film.
Does he still look the same age?
Yes, he does. Yeah,
He still looks like he's in the 90s.
Yeah, he's not got any older at all. He looks exactly the same. he's in
Lenny.
there. You got Jennifer Coolidge, who just plays the same character again. Like the
Stifler's mom.
Yeah, exactly. That's her basically. Says inappropriate stuff whilst being somehow still remotely sexy. I don't know how she does it, but it still works. You got Cheech bloody Marin. He's in it.
What's he doing? Is he smoking the reefer?
He's smoking the hashish.
Bloody hell.
No, he's just in it as well. He's just some rich fuck. And I think he's a rich fuck. I don't think he is, actually. No, I've thought about it. I think it's the other dad is. But yeah, it's just like a mismatch of man and wife, or both thinking, are we really suited together? Having last minute doubts about their wedding.
What do you mean the other dad? It's Cheech fucking Marin, Jennifer Lopez's dad.
Yeah. Probably. I can't remember the exact links between everybody, but yeah.
If he was like, I should set you up with my daughter, and you just knew him, you'd think, no, you're all right, Cheech.
Yeah, but there she is. I don't know if it is her dad, to be honest. He's definitely one of them, I think.
Yeah, he's got the same last name as the other character. I'm just looking at the IMDb
there you
now.
Go, then you see. That's it. That's her dad. Jennifer Lopez, daughter of Cheech.
Cheech Lopez.
Yeah, so that's me number 4. Not as enjoyable. Still, the fact is, these films so far, my 5 and my 4, they've got a fucking big budget. That you can see
Mm.
that by the people who are in it. So that you've got names of people that you've heard of, and they've got the backing, and it's just fucking rubbish. It's just like stupid, pointless film, and that's this one.
Fair enough. So, Shotgun Wedding, watch it on Prime.
Yeah, go on. We'll wait.
We'll wait.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Okay, so my number 3, Ken.
Go on.
It is Megan
Oh, okay.
or Mithrigan.
Yeah, I tell you what, whoever come up with that, if they do 2 more sequels, they're going to be fucking hated by whoever does the third one,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
You can't put 2 of them in there. I've not seen this one. I've not seen it because I'm not that bothered.
Yeah, I can't really remember why I watched it. I think I was with someone else when I watched it, and my fear with it is exactly why I don't like it, and that's it's a PG-13 horror film anyway, and it's just like Chucky light. I saw someone that said that it's like a remake of the Child's Play remake, which I think is a very good way of putting it.
In the defence of this film, Megan herself or itself is pretty fucking sexy though, right?
The tone is all over the place. just like that fucking sentence from Ken.
Why? She's not fucking real.
Tone's all over the place.
Is she real?
Who?
She's not a real fucking like person, though, is she?
No.
Is she a real person in real life?
Is Megan the robot a real person? No.
No, but like, is the robot played by a human actress?
I think so, but I think like the head's like CGI.
Oh shit! Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Sorry, it is. It's played by a real person. So okay, forget it.
They should have leaned into the horror more. Sometimes it's. I think also I feel like the actors themselves, depending on which actor's on the screen, I think is playing it differently. Some people think they're in a horror film. Some people think they're in a comedy. Some people think they're in a coming of age fucking film. There's like dancing and singing at one point, which I was like, "Oh God, this isn't for me." It's just a bit wacky.
I saw that. You know, like the teaser bit where it starts dancing and that, and I thought it was somebody had spoofed the fucking trailer or something. I didn't realise that that's actually in the real film. I thought it was somebody saying, "Oh yeah, but what if this killer doll started dancing? This would be funny."
No,
it actually is in the film.
Yeah, it does do that, and it also sings as well. It likes singing.
Similar to when I thought, look at this, look, somebody's put Christopher Walken in a Fatboy Slim video. That's funny. And it turns out that actually just was the video.
Yeah, just him dancing around the place.
Yeah, which I didn't realise. I thought it was, again, people had just spoofed it.
Apparently there is an R-rated version of this.
Yeah, what happens? Sex doll.
But they screen tested it, and the PG-13 one did better with audiences, so they released that one instead. And I think you can tell there's times where you can see dialogue's been overdubbed, or there's sentences that have been spliced together, and
well, like Steven Seagal's voice suddenly turns up.
Yeah, pretty much. And also,
Lord have mercy.
And also, it's 102 minutes long, which is way too long. It needs to be 15 minutes shorter.
You're right. That is too long.
I think I've said it before. Like, any film is 90 minutes. You should be 90 minutes. Like, only in particular or circumstances should a film be over 90 minutes if it's really needed. This isn't. This could have been 90 minutes. It could have been 15 minutes shorter easily. And the kills aren't good. Like, anytime you get to a kill, you cut away before anything happens. So I think that maybe this would be different if I'd seen the R-rated version. Maybe that would have worked better for me personally. But for the one I saw with the dancing and the singing and decent deaths, and I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I thought it was okay, but I just didn't really enjoy it that much.
No, I think my son's seen this. He said it's not really anything.
Yeah, that's it as well. Yeah, absolutely.
He just said it's just a film. It just sits there, and that's it. It doesn't do anything. It's not any kind of genre, and it's not successful in any way. Pretending to.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with him. So yeah, my number 3, Megan.
Nice one.
Your number 3?
My number 3 is another new film, and this new film. Where are we? I'm just having a quick look through my book. I watched on the 5th of December. It was new out that week, I believe. And it is a Christmas family comedy.
What?
And it's called Family Switch.
Oh, this sounds terrible.
It's got Ed Helms in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Jennifer Garner.
Interesting. So what's that about then?
Basically, they all switch with each other. You've got the dad, the mom, the son and the daughter, a little baby, and a little pooch, a little dog. And they switch in a Christmas miracle wish.
What do you mean? They're going to stay in each other's houses?
No, they're all one big happy family. But they're not happy, you see, because they're all at loggerheads with each other. So they're all arguing with each other. And then they all decide, well, you see how you like it. If you switch and you live as me for a bit. And they all wish it at the same time, and that happens. And hilarity is supposed to ensue. And fucking hell, it's embarrassing. It really is an embarrassment. I was embarrassed watching it. The mum swaps bodies with the daughter. The dad swaps bodies with the son. And hilariously, the baby swaps bodies with the dog in some of the worst fucking CGI ever to grace the screen. And this is a fucking brand new film. That's how shit this is.
It sounds absolutely hilarious to me.
Yeah, well, I thought it would. I know you like this kind of shit, this kind of shenanigans. And we've got each one of these characters, obviously apart from the dog and the baby who are just fucking in the background. Well, no, they're not. Sorry, they're not just fucking in the background. Let's make that clear. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
No, of course not. They're just in the background, fucking about. But each of the other four members of the family have got a very, very important moment in their lives coming up in the next couple of days. And, oh no, it's coincided with a total body switch.
Oh, classic. Tale as old as time.
I know, it was all caused by some mysterious old fucking bitch who whispers some nonsense at them, says she's a fortune teller. They go up, the planets all align, and they all say at the same time, I wish I was fucking somebody else and shit. And they all go, boom, next day they are.
Wish the dog and the baby had swapped bodies.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it, if that was what they all wished? And that was the only thing that fucking happened. Nothing's fucking real in this film. It's like they've all got right. So the dad's got his a big audition because he used to want to be in a band, and he was out of the band, and never got to travel to do the tour and everything. Although they could have been really, really big, but he had to leave, and the wife, she's got
was the band called Just Desserts? No, Creme Brulee, sorry.
Creme Brulee. Yeah, the album was Just Desserts. The mum's got a big meeting coming up that if she gets this contract, she'll be made partner in whatever fucking job she does. The daughter, she plays soccer. She's a soccer player. And she's got the big trials coming up with the US national coach coming to have a look at some poxy fucking school team. The brother is, in fact, a fucking geek whiz kid. And he's got an application for fucking Harvard coming up, even though he's like 12 or some shit. I don't really know how old he's supposed to be, like 15, 16, something like that. So he swaps bodies with Ed Helms, who's a hip wannabe rocker, who's now just a teacher, music teacher at school. So he swaps bodies there. And then the daughter, who wants to be a soccer player, swaps bodies with the mum, who doesn't like her playing soccer because says she should fucking sort herself out, get a proper job, do stuff, stop following her dreams and just settle for some shit instead. And it's all a heartwarming tale of how they all come together to conquer each of their individual tasks. And it's a fucking 100 minutes. And after 40 minutes, I went to get another beer because I thought, fucking hell, I need another beer.
You watching this on your own?
I'm not watching this on my own. It wasn't my fucking choice, no. And I thought, how the fuck are they going to keep this joke going for another hour? and they fucking don't half try.
Yeah.
It's such a stretch. It really is a stretch to do. Obviously, it all goes wrong. They all say they hate each other. They all then hear about, so somebody says, "Oh, I remember you telling me all about how much you love your daughter." And of course, it is her daughter in her mum's body. And she's like, "Really? Yeah, you never stop talking about how proud you are of her." And, the daughter's realising that her mum always, and it's just that and that and that 4 fucking times where they all realise that the person they now are always loved the person that they actually were. And, it's fucking amazing. Such a happy ending and so quick. It really just fucking ends. It's just like, oh, I want to go to Harvard. Actually, no, fuck it. No, I don't. I want to stay around and be a kid for a bit longer because I've missed out on all my childhood because I'm a geeky little fuck. And then the girl's like, I wanted to be a footballer, but because of my mum, I didn't actually try that hard and I was too busy looking out for the well-being of other people. And then the scout turns up and just says, "I saw you play football, and I can tell you that I want somebody who's got compassion for their fellow team members," and all that shit. So you're in the fucking team, even though you played shit and you could have won, but you didn't. The mum, she gets the fucking promotion because she just fucked off halfway through the thing and said, "My team will sort this out," and just fucking left. So she gets the promotion because she has a team that she can rely on. Therefore, she's exactly what they need as partnership material. And the kid...
Even though she just fucked off.
Yeah. So she gets the promotion because her team fucking delivered the pitch. Then the dad, he gets to play in a battle of the bands because they all leave their prospective shit to go and support the kid as the dad. And all they sing is Santa Claus is coming to town. And then this guy comes on stage and says, "Congratulations, you're going to Hollywood." And it's like, what? How shit was everybody else that's fucking won that competition? Everybody turns up. The mum's fucking team turn up with the person they were pitching to. He turns up and says, "This is the best fucking night of my life," even though he's a millionaire and some shit. And honestly, it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then they all go
I
back.
thought he was in a band. Like it's just a singing a cappella band.
No. He's playing the guitar as well, which is odd that he can do that, considering he's the kid and not the dad. But, he can.
I thought that would be the whole point of that he can't play an instrument.
No, he's just nervous because he's a geek and doesn't want to do it. But then they remind him that when he used to do their Christmas videos, he always used to join in. So he takes that and becomes confident, you see, in performing in front of other people. So that enables the dad to get what he wanted. The daughter gets what she wanted. The mum gets what she wanted. And the son decides instead to hang around so he can have sex with this fucking girl that he fancies. That's the plot. And that's the end.
Wait, in the dad's body?
No, they all switch back.
Oh, okay.
No, there is an absolutely awful scene of the brother and sister as the parents, where her friends, the mum's friends, force them to kiss to show that they love each other. It's fucking horrible.
Why would that happen in real life if you're adults?
It wouldn't. None of it would happen in real life at all, but it's fucking terrible. And guess who the bloody director is? It's our old fucking mate, McG.
Oh, God.
From The Babysitter.
What a dick.
Yeah.
What about, is the
film.
stinger that the dog and the baby don't swap back?
No, that just swap back as well. It's not interesting, that bit. They're just in the background. The baby runs around like scratching its ass on the floor and doing dog things, but it's all CGI shit. It looks awful.
And what's the dog doing?
Walking on its hind legs and using a potty.
Fantastic. McG, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, written by about 4 fucking people as well, that film.
Yeah, I like The Babysitter
Awful.
then.
Awful, honestly.
Remember that point
really,
in
really
time
bad.
where everyone's obsessed with that girl from The Babysitter? The
Yeah.
one that was like screaming.
Samara Weaving.
No, the one that just sort of screams into the air from the second one. Everyone was obsessed with her. She did like Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't know where she is now.
I don't know. She's probably gone on to do nothing.
I mean, that sounds fucking awful, that film, Ken.
It is very, very poor indeed, honestly. It's absolutely awful. And again, brand new on Netflix. Go and watch it and fucking hate yourself.
Okay, so my number, what are we on here? 2.
2.
We are on 2. See, this is my number 2. I didn't even really not like this film. I just didn't fucking enjoy it. You know what I mean? This is a write-off this year for my sort of worst films in quotation marks. So for me, my number 2 is a film called 3,000 Years of Longing.
Fuck it hell.
Have you heard of it?
I don't think I have.
George Miller.
Right.
So the director of Mad Max.
Go on.
This was his follow-up to Mad Max Fury Road. And it's Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton. Idris Elba plays a genie.
Oh, fucking hell.
And Tilda Swinton plays this sort of uptight, asexual, I think, professor. Can't remember what she does as a job. And she's in a hotel room and the genie comes out the lamp and for 108 minutes tells you his fucking life story. And Jesus fucking Christ.
But why?
You feel all of the 108-minute runtime.
Why is this happening?
I don't know. I don't know if she rubs the lamp or whatever, and obviously he needs to provide 3 wishes, but instead she wants to hear his whole fucking life story. And we do get it. It's 97% CGI, this film. I mean, it's a good-looking film. I mean, you look at George Miller, and, you know, he's known for practical stuff, isn't he, where he can. You know, Mad Max was an absolutely unbelievable film to watch. But this, there's so much CGI in it. Same cinematographer who did Mad Max Fury Road. It is a great-looking film. But most of it's a conversation in a hotel room, and when we do get cutbacks to his life, it's kind of just, I'm not interested in it's sort of almost like an anthology, actually. You get like 3 stories, and none of them I really enjoyed. I saw a review for this. Yeah, I saw a review for this where it said this would work better as an audiobook, and I think that's absolutely true.
Not what you want then in a film, is it, that?
No, it's honestly, it's such a slow-paced film. It's like, I was watching it with my girlfriend at the time, and she was asleep within half an hour, and it was obviously, I think it was her choice to put it on, and I'd never heard of it before, and it was so slow and so dull. Idris Elba, I like him as an actor. I like Tilda Swinton. Didn't like either of them in this. And it's 108 minutes long, and you feel every single minute, as I say. It's about 20 minutes too long. Could have cut 20 minutes out.
Wow.
Nothing funny goes on. Nothing so bad it's good goes on. Nothing so good it's good goes on. It just happens.
Just nothing good at all, then.
No. You just think, well, that looked good, that film. And that was it. And then the film's ended.
To be fair, you're saying that it looks great and everything, and it's a really good-looking film, and yet you would have preferred it to be an audio book. So that really shows how shit it must have been in total.
Yeah, honestly, like, visually, it does look good, but
you'd rather not have seen it and just listen to it.
Yeah, if that was an audio book, I think actually it was adapted from a book. So there you go. Just read the fucking book, I guess, people.
Thanks. I'll avoid it.
Yeah, that's all I've got to say on it. 3,000 Years of Longing. But at the same time, it didn't offend me. It's not like this my number one where I was angered by the film. I just thought it was boring. I mean, Megan, I just thought that just wasn't for me. That wasn't my thing. The Tall Man was boring. Sick was just a bit too preachy with the COVID stuff. None of them I really disliked, to be honest. But it's just been such a poor year for me watching terrible films, because anything terrible I watch is for this podcast now. So I try and stay clear of them. But yeah, 3,000 Years of Longing, number 2.
You're a bloody amateur, Dom. I'm
What's your
picking,
number 2, Ken?
I'm picking films that people have heard of. Wait till I get to the honourable mentions of all the ones that you've never heard of that were a lot shitter than the ones I'm discussing. Right, my number 2, if you'll excuse the expression, is Jason Statham, The Meg 2.
Oh, really?
It is.
Ben Wheatley, isn't it?
It is. What a fucking shit show from him.
Oh,
honestly.
God. I'm a big Ben Wheatley fan as well.
Yeah, well, this is nothing like Ben Wheatley film, trust me. It's like he was just given all the money in the world and thought, oh, fuck, now what am I supposed to do? This isn't what I'm used to.
Ben Wheatley, of course, he was sort of known for sort of low budget British films, isn't he?
Yeah, the gritty ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's fuck all grit in this, I tell you. It's
yeah, it looks very.
It's nonsense. It starts off like some sort of Jurassic Park where you're kind of thinking, okay, let's see where this goes. It doesn't fucking go anywhere, to be honest. It just stops that and starts again. So the opening scene made you think, this could be interesting. And then it said, right, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the shit. And then it starts a new film where Jason Statham is some sort of fucking secret agent.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and well, he's not though, is he? He's fucking supposed to be some sort of marine biologist or some bollocks, but instead he's a secret agent running around, diving off ships, fucking assassinating people and all this bollock. It's like, what? What the fucking film is this supposed to be? And then there's a bit about some sharks. Then they fuck off underwater and walk about the place. It's just terrible. It really is. There's multiple Megs as well. And it's just absolutely awful. It really is terrible. They got some characters from the first film, apparently, but I don't fucking know because I didn't care. I didn't care enough to remember them. So I'm not certain if they are from the first film or whether they just pretended to recognise each other. The CGI is terrible. They kind of forget about the sharks for a good half of the film when it turns into Die Hard with some terrorists turning up.
What?
Yeah, some terrorism, some double crossing going on. Then the sharks turn up again. And then it ends in some sort of big sharktopus fucking climax of the film where there's a massive octopus turning up as well for a fight. And then you just finishes and you just think, what the fucking hell was that?
Well, these things are usually like stupid, bollocks, fun kind of stuff. Is this not the case with the Meg?
No, they go into like terrorist territory, and so it's like, and there's some sharks. It's kind of like that. Oh yeah, and the sharks are still about. It's like the sharks are secondary to everything else, which is fucking ridiculous considering it's called Meg. But yeah, it's not good. I didn't really like the first one. I was looking forward to when they made the Meg. You know, because it was going on and on and on for years and years, and you're there thinking, come on, somebody make it. And then finally they said, we're going to. And it's got Jason fucking Statham in it. And you think, oh, great, that's going to be shit then, isn't it? And it was, but it was at least it was enjoyable. And now they brought this one out, it's even fucking worse. And Ben Wheatley, honestly, I honestly don't think Ben Wheatley knew what the fuck he was doing. And I think he's just been given what to do by the studios, and he's just gone, oh, fuck's sake. And he just has. This
would be his first sort of big budget studio film, wouldn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Looking at the films that I've seen that I like of his was like Kill List, Sightseers, A Field in England. Those are the films in the earth.
Yeah, which are like fucking very, very horrible films, if anything, aren't they?
Yeah, especially Kill List is unbelievable from him.
Yeah. Which is it's a great film. Sightseers is very funny, but also like just dark as fuck, isn't it? That in the comedy aspect. But yeah, it's just not good in the slightest. This film, even the action shit.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's that high up. It's actually this one for the budget. I don't know what the fucking excuse is. You've got a great director. You've got an able cast. I mean, Statham's Statham, as he always is. But the budget's fucking amazing. And the film's shit. So what's your excuse? There shouldn't really be one. That's how disappointing this is. You've got everything going for you, and you just fuck it all up. I found it just pointless. The whole thing was just pointless.
Well, there you go. Number 2 for Ken, The Meg 2. Okay, I got my number 1 here, Ken.
Go on.
No, this is one that is a legitimate worst thing. If I'd have seen like a few bad films this year, I think this still would have been my number 1 because I fucking hated this film.
Well, what I've done is exactly the same. This film that I've got now for my number 1, you won't have heard of, you won't have seen it. So confident am I that if yours is the same as mine, I will give you $4 billion.
Well, it won't be because people will have heard of this.
I'm safe.
My number one, Ken, is The Exorcist Believer.
Ooh.
Good day. Hey, be home by dinner.
I love you. Good morning, Mr. Fielding.
Morning, Catherine.
And here are your daughters, Angela and Catherine. It's about 7 hours ago, and that's the last information we have.
Catherine!
Angela?
If you can hear this, we love you. Please come home.
Hey, you found her? What are you and Catherine doing out there in those woods?
You were just walking and walking. That's all I remember.
Angela, can you tell your dad how long you were gone?
A few hours.
Baby, you've been gone 3 days.
Body in the blood? Body in the blood?
Catherine.
Body in the blood. The body in the blood. The body and the blood.
Catherine.
The body and the blood. The body and the blood.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Mommy?
No, but there are people out there who have.
You have some experience with possession.
Yes, more than I'd like.
What did you do?
Is that Catherine's heartbeat? They're beating in sync.
God played a trick on you.
Have you seen this?
I haven't. No, I have not seen this film.
Fucking hell. Right. This is a reboot sequel to the original Exorcist. If you think, oh, you mean a bit like Halloween, how the new Halloween trilogy started as reboot to the original. Yes, and that's because it's directed by the same fucking man and written by him as well. And the same people that wrote
Hooray!
Halloween Ends.
Hooray!
The same people that wrote Halloween Ends wrote this fucking piece of shit. This is David Gordon Green. Welcome back, David. Were you my number one last year? I'm pretty sure you were.
Inconsistent. This love affair is continuing.
Yep. It's not scary. It's not interesting. Literally everything that makes the original great is not in this at all. Ellen Burstyn's in it.
Oh, yes.
Played Chris McNeil, the mother. She's in this for as much time, Ken, as you've spent having a shit this morning.
Fucking hell. I bet she got paid more than I did.
She said, I certainly hope so. Because Chris McNeil, the way they use her in this, she's a legacy character. Again, David Gordon Green loves a fucking legacy character. You brought Laurie Strode back. You're like, excellent. Next thing you know, everyone from every single film's in it to varying degrees. And Ellen Burstyn, she's back in this. And they treat that character with such, seems hatred and just pointlessness that it really just annoyed me for the whole film. She turns up sort of halfway through. Stop me if you've heard this before, Ken. And she's a sort of drunken, alienated from her family, living alone old woman.
Wow, where do they get their ideas, these guys?
Yeah, exactly. And then, because basically what this film's about is there's two girls who are mates. One of them, the mom's died. So they go off into the woods and they do a little seance to try and get in touch with the mom. And then those girls go missing for 3 days in the woods. That's the first half an hour of the film. And it wasn't, to be honest with you, I didn't hate that part of it. When it's not referencing the 73 Exorcist, I think it was 73. When it's not mentioning the original Exorcist, it was fine. The girls come back a little bit worse for wear, but ultimately they're okay. And then slowly but surely they start becoming possessed. The dad speaks to a nurse at the place, because the nurse that's looking after them in hospital also happens to be the neighbor. So that's fucking fortunate, isn't it? And
It's very convenient.
She says, why don't you go and talk to Chris McNeil, who's wrote a book about what happened to her daughter back in the 70s in New England. And he was like, you know what, I fucking will. And she's like, well, go on then, you fuck. And off he fucks. That's dialogue for you.
We should write one of these. Let's do a legacy fucking pitch.
Yeah. He goes off to see Chris McNeil. She starts speaking to him. And you remember in the original film when she just let the priest do what they needed to do, and she was just this sort of scared mom who wanted anything to make sure her daughter was okay and to keep it all in-house. She didn't want a big, hoo-ha about it in the press or anything like that. Well, she's released a she's released a best-selling book about it. Her and her daughter are estranged. And it turns out, no, Ken, she was actually upset and blamed the patriarchy for not letting her in the room in the original. I'm like, the patriarchy? What the fuck are you talking about, Ellen Burstyn?
Does she mean elderly Max van Sydow refusing to let her in?
It's like, who is this character? This isn't like how Chris would turn out to be, I wouldn't have thought. This is just, what the fuck have you got her speaking about now? And anyway, she says, yeah, fuck it, I'll come and help you. Why not? Goes and sees the girls in the... Are you going to watch this film, by the way?
Yeah, of course I will.
Spoiler-free. But basically, Ellen Burstyn is not in this film for very long.
Are you sure that's spoiler-free? That's kind of giving me a hint as to what happens.
No, she's in it for the middle bit for about 4 minutes, and then appears sporadically until the end. And it's just like, what a fucking waste of this character. This has literally been added in so that fans of the original will see her in the like all of her appearance in this film, pretty much 99% of her appearance is in the trailer. And it's just a thing for people to be like, oh shit, Ellen Burstyn's in this. I'm going to go and watch it. That's the only reason I can think that they've included her in it.
Nice.
David Gordon Green, you son of a bitch.
You've done it again.
Jump scares. Too many fucking jump scares. How many jump scares are in the original? None? One? Something like that? They're every fucking 30 seconds once the kids are possessed. Also, I don't see why you need 2 possessed kids, because there's 2 of them. One of them you don't really fucking give a shit. Like, they don't go into any backstory. You're not really with her for that long. It's all about the one with the single dad. So I don't see the point of having the 2 of them if you're not going to use both of them. Just a load of fucking shit. Ken, what do you reckon?
I'm looking forward to seeing it. You've sold me on it. And
also, David Gordon Green is absolutely obsessed with Community overcoming evil.
Oh,
he's doing it again in this.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This evil dies tonight. He's happening again where the fucking townsfolk get involved.
What are they saying in this one?
The ending exorcism scene, Ken. You know, like in the original, 2 priests who fucking both end up dying to help save this fucking young girl's life. In this, at one point, there must be 15 people in this fucking room with them.
Are they all priests?
All from different faiths, different religions. Some aren't even religious.
Oh.
And they're all just praying. And it's like, get the
Some
fuck
not
out
even
of here.
Religious. Well, they've just turned up.
They're just coming with goodwill. There's a guy in there, I swear. I swear there's a priest that turns up, and I'm like, I haven't even seen you in this yet. Who the fuck are you? Who's let you in? I couldn't believe it.
Is there a woman at the back with a fucking iron? Just sort of with a clothes iron?
Yeah. So one guy just drops down from the ceiling, smiling like an airplane.
Sounds fucking brilliant.
I've got Mark Kermode, who, famously, really well-known reviewer in England.
Indeed.
Famously, his favourite film is the original The Exorcist. I've got a little quote for him from after he watched this film. He says, "A movie made by people who have seen the original but not seen the original. They've watched it but haven't understood it. They've quoted it without ever taking on board what it meant. It has nothing to do with The Exorcist apart from the title. I hope Ellen Burstyn did something wonderful with the pay. Dumb, boring, dull. It's as bad as it could have been, and then some.
Nice.
And I'm going to leave it as well with a final quote, and this is from William Friedkin shortly before he passed away, when they told him, or when he found out that David Gordon Green was going to be making this film. He said, "The guy who made those new Halloween sequels is about to make one to my movie, The Exorcist. That's right, my signature film is about to be extended by the man who made Pineapple Express. I don't want to be around when that happens, but if there's a spirit world and I can come back, I plan to possess David Gordon Green and make his life a living hell."
Oh, that's nice.
Exorcist believer, my number one. And also, Ken, you'll be delighted to know,
Go on.
there's 2 sequels in the pipeline for it.
Oh, yes. Pazuzu dies tonight.
Yeah.
Is that what they were all saying?
Oh, there is a face. There's a face that looks like something from the fucking... I think Mark Kermode described it as Marilyn Manson. That's the demon face. It's from the original. That's back, but looking like the nun from the Conjuring universe.
Oh, yeah. Looking like Papa Lazarus.
Yeah. There's an absolutely terrible Mercedes McCambridge devil voice attempt that's fucking terrible.
Superb.
Yeah, and there's another cameo as well that's 5 seconds long, and you just think, you fucking idiots. Anyway, carry on. Your number one, Ken.
I'm going to watch that. I can't wait for that to come out. I'm watching that. Guaranteed. My number one is slightly less known, I would imagine, than Dom's, and it is Terror at Bigfoot Pond.
We're standing in front of the Ghost Ranch, New Mexico. Hey, New Mexico, rock!
Wanna go skinny dipping?
Ooh, it's creepy out here. What's that? Did you guys hear that sound?
I thought that was you.
Dude, it wasn't me. It was like right behind me. It could have been a dog or a deer or... I ain't playing, guys.
I really don't like that.
Is that a person? Is that like a homeless person? Or is that like a bear? Something's not right.
Carrot and Tommy are missing.
See their sleeping bags.
Is that?
Must be logical here.
There's so much evidence, though. I didn't even believe.
Bigfoot isn't real.
Let's get out of here. Come on. Yeah.
Leave me alone!
He had me. He had me.
Get up! It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
2020 film. It is.
I think it is slightly less known.
You think? I think I was overselling it. It's on Prime, and it is fucking woeful. I watched it in June, and I immediately highlighted it in my book as fucking awful. And I thought, I've got 6 more months, and if I watch a worse film than this, I will be so fucking surprised I'll punch my own dick off. And sure enough, I haven't. So, whilst I've gone for films you've all heard of, and just films that irritated me, this one is a fucking hatred film. It is so shit. It's amazing.
Is this the one that you sent me the text message saying, I finally found something worse than Black Shuck?
Oh, it's close. I'd still think Black Shuck's worse than this, but this is fucking terrible. It's at a pond, yeah? Bigfoot Pond, not even a fucking lake. And the pond is just a big puddle. It's not even a real fucking pond. It's useless. There's a group of...
Why is it Bigfoot Pond?
Oh, because Bigfoot's fucking hanging about, isn't he?
I've Perhaps he's so hard to spot then if it's at a pond.
He shouldn't be, because there's no fucking woodland either. It's literally just a pond in the middle of the empty field. How they've not seen him, I don't know. But there's a group of friends, and they're trying to be as diverse as possible. And in that, they are fucking boring as possible as well. And it's supposed to be a found footage. So there's always somebody videoing everything, even when the angle changes. I guess they all had cameras, I don't fucking know. At one point, they say, let's all go skinny dipping. And yeah, which I thought...
In a pond?
Well, I thought, well, that's something at least. And yeah, they just all stood in their underpants in a fucking puddle. And that's it. That's them skinny dipping. And you just see it. They're just standing there, and it must be a scene for about 20 seconds, and then they just all get out again and go and get dressed. And you think, what's the fucking point of that? You get a dance around a bloody campfire. You get all the females, obviously, they all take their tops off, so we get a little bit of the old tit action, which is good. But unfortunately, all the female characters look like they do, and that's not so good. So there's nothing there that you really want to be seeing, let alone dancing around a fire. Bigfoot, the actual Bigfoot is a bloke in the cheapest fucking Bigfoot suit you can just get from a shop. It is awful.
Worse than Suburban Sasquatch.
It's probably the same fucking one, to be honest.
One with the tits.
Except, no, he's not got as good a tits. It's fucking terrible. They're just... None of them know that he's there, even though he keeps walking around going, "Ugh." That's the Bigfoot noise. You can just fucking hear him. They're all intense, so how they can't hear him, I don't know. But
intense?
Well, no, past tense. But it's fucking terrible. There's no good points in this film. Even the tits are rubbish. It's just terrible film. I've had a look on IMDb. It's got a solid 1.3 out of 10.
Very nice.
Fucking hell, it doesn't even deserve that 0.3. You have to give it 1, otherwise you don't class as a review. But honestly, it is so fucking awful. The sound quality's shit. The picture quality's shit. All the acting's shit. Everybody in it looks like shit. The Bigfoot itself is a pile of shit. And honestly, it is just awful. 100% recommended. It's on Amazon Prime.
You'd have more fun literally going and having a shit at your local pond. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, it almost prompted me to go and look at some shit near a pond. That's how bad it is. I was going to sit there and look at that for 76 minutes, or however long it is. I'm not even sure. It felt like it was on for about 3 hours. Let me have a look how long it is. 82 minutes. There you go.
Oh, that's a long time.
82 minutes. One of the featured reviews on IMDb just says, no, just no. There you go. That's one of them. Words escape me. That's another one. OMG, please don't subject yourself to this.
How did you hear about this? Just scrolling through Prime?
I've got a list full of this kind of shit, mate, and sometimes I actually go for it. And this is one I just went for, and fuck me, it was terrible. I'll have a look. It must have been when I was on my 4 on 4 off, and I just picked a day where I just watched shit. And I've just got it here. It was June the 27th, everybody. June 27th. It was the first one of the day that I watched. I then went on to watch 4 other films to try and forget it. There you go. So that was a day I watched. I watched 5 films in a day, and that was the first one I watched, and it's highlighted immediately as the shittest film of the year. 6 months in.
Excellent. Have you got any honourable mentions for worst films that you want to quickly
I
run through?
I have, because I've got other films that you won't have heard of either. But if you do enjoy shit films and like tracking them down, I thought I'd give you a quick heads up on them. First, I did go for Black Demon as well. Black Demon is another Meg film that is a shark out in a mining oil rig in Mexico, I believe, off the coast of Mexico. Very, very shit film.
Yeah.
Again, it tried to come out at the same time as Meg 2. Obviously about a Meg as well, but equally as shit, but
Yeah.
not quite the same budget. So it doesn't quite class as being as shit as that. It has its excuses. I've got a film called From the Depths, which is a shark attack film, which I also watched on Prime. That features multiple flashbacks to shark attack that happens in the first couple of minutes. Then this woman is haunted by the thought of being attacked by a shark at all times.
Mm.
The shark itself appears in her hallway, in her house. It's in her fucking closet. She hears a noise. She opens the closet. Fucking shark in there. It's absolutely ridiculous. She keeps just seeing the hallucinations of a shark everywhere, which makes for great viewing because it looks fucking terrible. And then she has some kind of American Werewolf in London bullshit where she keeps seeing the dead sister who died in the shark attack and her dead boyfriend who also died. And then that takes over and the film just even gets worse. She's amazing. So that's shit. What else have I got that's shit?
I've got one honourable mention.
Go on.
It was nearly on the list. Got kicked out when something else popped into my head, but it was Knives Out, Glass Onion.
Oh yes, I've not seen that one either.
Yeah, it's all style, no substance. Daniel Craig's okay in it. Edward Norton's quite annoying in it. The whole film's quite annoying, if I'm honest. The script's fucking too pleased with itself, or makes no sense, or is stupid, or all three. Not as good as the original.
Not seen that either.
Yeah, again, like that wasn't as great as everyone said it was for me, but it was a lot better than Glass Onion. On a fun side note as well, the dad from Exorcist Believer is also in Knives Out, Glass Onion. So there we go. 2 fucking
Nice
awful
link.
films this year. Well done, mate.
I've got a fighting film though. It's called Enter the Fire in 2018. I tell you who's in that. Lou Ferrigno. He's in it.
Oh, hell, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, that's awful. Enter the Fire. It's about a brother who's a martial artist who runs away from a gangster kingpin played by Big Lou, and he wants him back, and he basically runs bare knuckle boxing, but the fucking fighting is terrible. It really is. You're a martial arts film. That's where you need to be good, and it fucking isn't.
Yeah,
God, it's absolutely awful. That one's not probably recommended either. It's available on Prime.
And just a quick one, I need to mention this. It's a TV show, though. It's not a film. Inside Man. You heard of it?
I've heard of the film as well, The Inside Man.
Yeah.
But go on, what's the TV show? Is it the same thing?
It's the people who wrote Sherlock and Dracula. So Sherlock, obviously, Bernard Cumberbatch, or whatever his name is. That's
him. Brandon Slumbersnatch.
That's him. This stars David Tennant. Stanley Tucci plays a prisoner on death row in the US who is sort of Hannibal Lecter-esque. He murdered his own wife and then he's used also to help solve other crimes. There's a woman as well who's also trapped down in a cellar in England in an English vicarage, and they cross paths in the most unexpected way. Ooh. And holy fucking shit is this thing pleased with itself. Stanley Tucci plays Jefferson Grief.
Oh man, I'm writing that down. That's a fucking great name.
Jefferson Grief is like help. Like the reason that what staves off his execution is helping with all these other murders. And next to him, he's got this massive black guy called Dylan, who is the comic relief for the whole show, and he is a violent rapist murderer who's playing this comic relief. And you're like, how can you make this a comedy character?
Oh, he just sounds funny.
Yeah, and oh god. David Tennant plays a priest who ends up locking this woman down in his cellar. And the reason he locks the woman down in the cellar is because he refuses to give up his page boy who's a paedophile. He just outright refuses to give this guy up for reasons no one knows. The woman who he locks down in the cellar finds this on his laptop or on his son's laptop or something, or thinks the USB belongs to the son who she's tutoring. So she thinks the son's a paedophile, and instead of David Tennant explaining to him this is my page boy's USB stick, he just fucking beats her up and throws her down into this cellar. And then he has to try, and then the wife finds out, and she gets involved. They're trying to keep it away from the son. Oh, it's fucking all over the place.
I'm liking the sound of that. Just for Jefferson grief. Honestly,
Ken, it is. You probably should watch it because I think you would hate it. But honestly, I watched.
Sounds good to me.
I watched this, and every episode, I could not believe where the episode would end and where the episode would take you, and the dialogue and the choices David Tennant makes in this film, no human being would make ever. It's so, and then Stanley Tucci is just sitting there smirking his way through the whole fucking thing. The way he solves some of these murders he gets given, some of the reasoning is fucking, oh my God, I can't believe it. So there's one to do with like zooming in on your phone. Oh my God, it's bad. So yeah, I had to include Inside Man, just a little nod there. Okay, Ken,
add it to the list.
Give me your rundown, 5 to 1. What were your films?
Oh, I don't know. When you fucking writing it down yourself. You know, you actually think I've written any of this down in the first place. Now I've got to go back and remember what I've said.
I think you did this last year as well when I asked you to run them down 5 to 1. You're like, don't know.
Well, why don't you stop fucking doing it then? It just makes me look bloody stupid, this. Okay, hang on a second then. Let me try and remember. Number 5. Number 5, Heart of Stone, 2023.
Yep, number 4.
Number 4, Shotgun Wedding, 2022.
Number 3.
Number 3, Family Switch, 2023.
Number 2.
Number 2, Meg 2, 2023.
And number 1.
Finally, Terror at Bigfoot Pond, 2020. All relatively recent films, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine all that shit.
I'm proud of you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, proud of you.
Thank you. Go for it. Hit me with yours.
Okay, so number 5, I have Sick, which I think was a 2022 film. Number 4, The Tall Man, which is probably the oldest film on either of our lists.
It is, yeah.
2012. Then at number 3, I've got Megan or Mithrigan.
That
was 2022 as well. Number 2, I've got the fucking snooze fest but beautiful 3,000 Years of Longing. That also came out in 2022. And then this year, 2023, my number 1, The Exorcist Believer, David Gordon Green, you son of a bitch. Stop remaking these fucking films now. You did Halloween, which was all right. The last 2 were shit. Kills I liked it more than others, I suppose. Ends was an absolute fucking cunt of a film. And so was this. Rubbish. Anyway.
What do you all think? Anyway, what do you reckon? Any shits in there for you to polish up and enjoy? Or just a flush straight down the fucking shitter? Which one? What do you reckon?
Take a shit on David Gordon Green and drop kick him into Bigfoot Pond.
Well, I've written some of yours down there, mate, because I think I'm going to watch that, especially that TV show. It sounds absolutely fucking ludicrous.
Honestly, it is fucking ridiculous. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. We may have to cover it. Sounds
good to me. I'm doing it just for the names of the characters.
Jefferson Grief.
Jefferson Grief is one of the best fucking names ever. Really liking that.
Dominic Lawton. Can be wild. Welcome to the bad movie cult.
I've got 6 more months, and if I watch a worse film than this, I will be so fucking surprised I'll punch my own dick off.